Yo guys, just a quick heads up. This is the post-game show for the game against UMass. So if you want to watch this, you gotta watch the UMass game first because there will be spoilers here. You have been warned, and this is also where I'll be answering the questions from now on. Welcome to 92.1 K-Fan Duluth. I'm your host Josh Williams, and what a game that was. But before we get to the game, let's talk about some questions. And the first one here from Michael Skeen. Assuming King commits and redshirts, do you envision King having a role on the offense even as a primary or a backup running back during his freshman season? Now, if we look at the roster, we're pretty deep at running back, and it's a lot of youth at running back. So if you're talking 2 years ahead already, I don't like. We already have a lot of power with Waxweiler and Holly, and then we have Edmonds, who's redshirted right now, who's going to be a beast in a few years' time. And then even as a running or as a receiver, because King is like 6'5", we are losing Brett Dennis, which is going to be a huge loss. Let me just say that right away. I think he can have an impact there, but I don't see it being that big. Even though we do have a lot more age or a lot more experience, I guess you can say, at receiver, I don't see him being a primary receiver. Therefore, he won't be that much of an impact on offense during his freshman season, at least. A redshirt freshman, that is. I think he can be a huge part of the offense starting in his redshirt sophomore year. And here you can see some of his stats. You also got to remember he's 6'5", so I mean the speed, he doesn't have too much where it can be a huge benefactor at receiver or running back. And we already have a lot of power, like I said, and again, our depth at running back and receiver, or mainly running back, is huge right now for a team of our level. But I do think Andrew King will make an impact at some point early on, whether that be his sophomore or freshman season. It really just comes down to what Bud Grant wants to do. On to the second question now from SimCity YT. Do you think we will be, do you think you will be close to being ranked in season 3? Yeah, no. We haven't gotten a single recruit yet, and we're projected to be dead last in the nation for the next 2 years. I don't really see that happening for Duluth. And although that being said, we are undefeated at Valhalla so far. We've only played 2 games, but we still are undefeated. And something you may have noticed this week is that we had a completely huge defensive scheme switch from a 4-3 to like a 3-3-5 look. And Bud Grant said this was his idea the whole time with this team, to have the 3-3-5 look to cover more of the field with the extra speed with more defensive backs. And he said he was only able to do this because every week he's been here, every single defensive player has been here after or stayed late and came in early to know this scheme, because in Division 2, Duluth only played a 4-3. Like, every single play was 4-3 defense. But then they spent the time to learn the 3-3-5, and they put it on display this week. It was week 7, and I guess they felt comfortable, or Bud Grant felt comfortable enough with their handle on the scheme that they just threw it out there, and it worked. So I think we can have that as the mainstay of this defense, and it's going to be very interesting to see. You may have also noted that they've gone to a lot more pistol option looks. I don't know if that's going to stay or not. That's just because we have Cruz starting right now. Welcome now to the newest segment of this show, K-Fan Duluth Film Room, where we're going to break down the biggest and most momentum-changing plays from the week that was, and here we'll break down the top plays against UMass, starting with the first interception in D1 history for Duluth, and Javon Leslie. We'll get to Leslie Hines in a minute. Anyway, here it looks like a possible run play from the strong eye, but the receiver gets off of Leslie's press, so he knows that it's going to be a pass play, but he reads it too late. But what he does after this moment is what makes this play so spectacular. Because the ball is thrown right here, and Leslie not even looking at the ball until it's past its mid or top point, and then he readjusts in the air for the catch. Now, let's just rewind here. Let's try to figure out or break down this play. So he has So he gets the press on, but the receiver gets past him. So Thomas makes the decision here to throw to his man, and it's actually a pretty good decision because Leslie's a foot or a whole step off of his man. And then once he throws it, when we slow it down, Leslie looks back, he jumps, and will have to make an adjustment in the air to go back toward the ball. And it could have been an incompletion, but instead it's a momentum swinging play that gets us the ball. And let's just say this double juke right here makes Todd Stafford look completely silly, and that dude's like 6'7". Next play, Leslie Hines touchdown that tied the game in the first quarter. Let's look at it at a better angle here. Leslie Hines, he's going to do a simple slant with Jamal Chase on the outside, and he gets off the press really late, and he's already 5 yards into the play, and Cruz is already throwing it in his throwing motion, and he hasn't made his break yet. He has there, and he just has to reach out and catch it. This play is made by Spike Cruz. So let's break it down from his point of view. He knows what kind of a defense this is. It's going to be a goal line man. Seen it a million times before as a QB. So he sees Javon Leslie and Jamal Chase both get off their press at the same time. So he's going to throw it to Hines because he is closer. And here he just throws it through a very tight window, may I say, because that defensive end or defensive tackle definitely could have blocked it. And he just throws it in the perfect spot, and he knew that he could throw it there because once you get off the press, he's 4 yards ahead of his man. Leslie Hines was. Next play, let's go watch Brian Bailey's interception, the second interception of the game, and of the Division I history for the Norse. So this is going to also show why the 3-3-5 is a huge game changer for us. So here we have Zachary Cade covering the middleman, and Brian Bailey helping, and O.J. Holiday helping in safety support. So the ball is already thrown here. Brian Bailey sees that Zachary Cade won't make a play on the ball. He's not turned. He's running towards the receiver, and O.J. Holiday can help with a tackle if he misses here. So right here you can see, Zachary Cade's just turned around to see the ball. He can't make a play on this. So Brian Bailey readjusts, cuts in front of the receiver on the pass that was underthrown, and makes a beautiful play. Standard return from there. And the 3-3-5 changed the outcome of that play because if it had been a 4-3, a linebacker would have covered that receiver, so then he would have been open sooner and the pass would have come in sooner. So Brian Bailey would have just gotten a tackle, not an interception. And that'll be it for this week, guys. Leave comments below for any questions you have for next week, and I will see you all next time. See ya.